So I want to ask you something. Have you ever been in the shower or bath, washing your hair, and you look down at your hand and you're like, it's a handful of hair, and this continues every day. And it's not just a few strands, it's like loads, like loads of hair, handfuls even. And you just stand there and you're staring at it because you just think, what is going on? I remember the first time it happened to me, and I thought maybe I just, maybe I not washed my hair, properly, or maybe I was using the wrong type of shampoo, or maybe I overdid it because my hair is fine. So I have to wash my hair at least every other day. So it gets greasy quite quickly. So I was thinking, is it me then? But then I was trying to think, well, what else could I do? I know you can get like dry shampoos and things, but it's not quite the same, is it really? I remember the first time it happened, and I'd washed my hair and I hadn't been stressed, and I told myself, oh, it's fine, and then the next morning the same thing, and then the next morning after that the same thing again, and it was on my pillow, it's literally everywhere, the floor, my car, it's on my seatbelt in my car, it's at my desk in work, it's everywhere. It's even clinging on my other half's clothing. It's a standing joke now, because it's rare that he'll actually find a piece of clothing of his that doesn't have my hair attached to it. Because obviously when I'm washing our clothes together in the wash machine, it's on him and on his clothing as well as mine, and so forth. So I just wanted to sort of question you and see what's happening with you. Are you experiencing this? What do you do regarding hair loss? Because as I've said before in previous videos, I really used to have long hair. I love having long hair. That was my identity. I've had to keep it shorter, in a bob, because it feels like it's like shapeless. There's hardly any life in it. Although the hairdressers say I've got lots of fine hair, so my hair is actually in really good condition, to me, I still don't feel right. So I just feel better that, I've had it cut this short now, because it gives the illusion that it's healthy, which it is, but more so that it's thicker than it is. My way of coping. So I'd love to know what you do when it comes to hair loss. Warned me about, this being part of perimenopause and menopause. Nobody sat me down and said, oh, by the way, you're going to start losing a lot of hair. Don't get too stressed or worried about it. It's part of the hormonal change. Nobody mentioned this to me, not my doctor, nobody, not one person. One of those symptoms that women really struggle with is to do with the hair. And it's, like I say, it's part of our identity. Not many people really talk about it much, and the way we feel about our hair, like I say, it's part of you, isn't it? It's how you show up as a person, see ourselves. So I just want to know, what do you do? Have you found any shampoos or conditioners or other types of products even? What do you use, and how have you coped with the hair loss situation? Because I have spoken to women who have cried literally in the shower because their hair is their thing. And, women who have started wearing their hair differently, trying to hide patches. I have also got, and I get them regularly, it just continually grows through. I have pilocysts in my head, which is like a lump. It's where the sebum, which is the oil that grows through your scalp, which creates your hair to become greasy. I get action of that. So I actually have certain lumps around my scalp. I've already had 3 removed in the past, and when they get to a certain size, I have to go back and get them removed, and it's just like a cycle. Unfortunately, I can't stop them from regrowing. I understand, I've looked into it quite a lot, and they do grow in different places, not necessarily the same place as well. So for me, I've already got like patches in my head where when you have a pilocyst, the hair doesn't grow in that area. The bigger the cyst, the less likelihood you're going to have any hair growth. It's taken time for my hair to start coming through in certain areas, so it can be quite patchy as well in certain places. So between the hair loss through perimenopause, menopause, and the pilocysts of what my hair looks like. This is for you, and if you relate to this, please comment below. Tell me, how you're coping, how are you feeling about it. Do you wear a hair piece? Do you have extensions? Do you have a wig, or what do you do? Or do you just chop it short, or like cropped, or Like, what's your thing? What have you done to sort of cope with this? I'm really intrigued about this because, you know, it's taken a lot for me to come to terms with having to cut my hair in this length now, cutting it back to this length since November last year. So it's over half a year now that I've been, you know, cutting it shorter, and I've been 3 times now in 7 months to the hairdresser. And like I say, this is the result basically. Try and cover balding, patches and things like that, or put it in a bun, for example. So this can catch a lot of women out because hair loss doesn't always look the way you expect it to be. It's not a typical bald patch that would appear, not like you would see in men, for example, and it tends to be a general thinning. Now, as I mentioned, my hair is already fine, like very fine. It's like baby hair. So I have little volume in my hair whatsoever. No matter what products I use, I struggle to get volume in my hair. It's extremely resistant now. I can no longer perm it. My hair just won't take no more. Because the main reason why we are losing this hair is because the oestrogen level, which is the hormone, that's basically depleting, and it's changing during the perimenopausal stage. And it actually plays a really important part, important, I can't speak today, a real important role in hair growth cycle. So in plain language, oestrogen helps keep your hair in its growing phase for longer, and it keeps more hairs on your head for longer at the same time. So when oestrogen fluctuates, or when it starts to fluctuate, when it's up and down like a yo-yo, which is exactly what happens in the perimenopausal stage, your hair follicles respond to that change, okay? So more hairs shift into the resting phase and then into the shredding or shedding phase all at once, which is why it can feel so sudden and so dramatic. So I really want to hear from you. So like research suggests that up to half of all women experience some degree of hair thinning or loss connected to hormonal changes in midlife. So what I really want to hear from you is, like I say, how you're coping with this, because research suggests that up to half of all women will experience some degree of hair thinning or hair loss connected to the hormonal changes in midlife. Almost half. So that is a lot of women. It's not a rare thing, and you know, like I say, that's an enormous number of us women going through this, and most of us are sitting quietly, not saying a word, not talking about it, trying to forget or ignore this issue. But it's not uniquely wrong with you, it's just your hormones. Now, what it really feels like, and I know this because I've been there and I'm still going through it, hence why my hair is still in a bob length. And it's kind of low-level grief, really, because I'm coming to terms with it more now, you know, the loss of my hair. It sounds dramatic to some people, but for those that really do like to have hair of a certain length or a certain style, and you can no longer do that, and it's not from no fault of your own, it's just your body, the way it's reacting with the hormone changes, it can feel like a loss, like you're grieving it in a way, because it's not how you are, you know, it's not like your identity has changed. You've had to change, not because you want to, because you've had to. So something else going on at the same time. As it drops, the ratio between oestrogen and androgens, which are male hormones that we all have, shifts. And the androgens can actually cause hair follicles to shrink over time. So this affects like the thickness, the quality of the new hair growth. Now, what I also want to say is this, that this is a recognised condition. It's called female pattern hair loss, or androgenetic alopecia, when it's hormone related. And when it starts to change without any warning, like a real emotional weight to it. So you start styling your hair differently, and you start buying products, like volumizing products, and you don't really know what they do, or if they do say what they say on the tin, as it were. Try, don't you? And you try to avoid maybe certain angles in photographs now, because that's also something that you're conscious of, because you used to be able to pose or stand in a certain way if you was to have your photograph taken, and maybe now you might be on holiday or out with friends, whatever, for family, social, whatever it is, and now you might be thinking twice about having your photos taken, because again, your hair has been a part of your identity all these years, and now it's not the way it used to be, and you've had to make changes, and you're now starting to sort of really think twice about having your photograph taken. That, you know, is this you? Have you felt like that? I feel like it's like embarrassing, because like I say, you're just not used to being in this position, this predicament. You think, you've always thought you'd always have hair. Okay, you might turn grey or go greying, but you know, you still thought, well, I've still got hair, I can always colour it, right? And that's generally what we all seem to do most of the time. You sort of associate hair loss with men, because men tend to recede, a lot of men anyway. They start to go thin, and, you know, some go completely bald or decide that's it and shave off whatever's remaining, and then that's how they have the hair from there on. Or some people might have a hair transplant. It's still a bit more taboo, I find, because not many women, like I say, really want to talk about it. But we shouldn't have to feel embarrassed or uncomfortable. You know, we should be able to be open about this and say, look, yes, I'm losing my hair. It's just hormones. It is the way it is. You know, there's much I can do about it. But it takes time to get there, and I understand that, because it's taken me a while to admit to myself I can no longer have my hair the length I used to have it. It's a big transition in a way. Now, the confusing part is the timing, I have to say, because perimenopausal hair loss can start years before your periods change noticeably. So you might be sitting there thinking, I can't be perimenopausal, my cycles are fine, but your hair has started basically responding. So because of the perimenopause doesn't wait for a formal announcement, it just starts. So you may start losing your hair before you have any other perimenopausal symptoms. You know, it might just be your hair that gets affected for quite some time before anything else. And then you think, oh, no big deal then, you know, but it is a big deal. It's a big deal to the majority of us women, if not all. So if you're finding this helpful, please give this video a like, and please subscribe to this channel. It generally helps more women find this content when they're searching for answers, like I have, and like I've always been doing, which is why I started this channel in the first place. And I want us to talk about it, and I hope that talking about it will actually help. You know, it will just help, you know, answer some questions maybe that you've had in your mind for a while, or maybe you don't feel confident to talk about it, but maybe finding this may give you a little bit of confidence and understanding about what really might be going on, about what you can do. Okay, so the first thing I always say is please go and speak to your GP or medical professional. Check your iron levels, your ferritin, your thyroid, your vitamin D, because hair loss can be multiple causes. And you want to make sure you're addressing the right one. You know, you want to make sure your levels are correct first in those things before you start thinking it's perimenopause, you know. Your nutrition is also another thing. So your hair needs a lot of protein, iron, zinc, and B vitamins to grow. So if your diet is depleted, and a lot of women in perimenopause are running on empty because you're just crazily trying to keep your life running smoothly as fast as you can. You're spinning all these plates, you know, you're trying to deal with family life, caring responsibilities, holding a job down, whatever it is, you know, plus running a house and everything else. So sometimes you may be the last person to eat or sit down and actually rest and actually think about having something to eat for yourself that's nutritious. So, you know, please, if you can, try and look at your nutrition and just make sure that you're having, you know, a good amount of protein and iron and zinc and B vitamins. Your hair is one of the first places your body will prioritize, shall we say. So you have to eat enough of those protein and enough of those iron-rich foods, and especially those leafy greens, okay? This is actually a meaningful part of the picture. So your scalp. Scalp health is underrated. Gentle, regular scalp massages can stimulate circulation. The hair follicles, it sounds, you know, a little simple, but there's actually a lot of research behind it. So please look into that as well. That's an option. And again, HRT, for many women, addressing the oestrogen fluctuation directly is what makes the most significant difference to perimenopausal hair loss. So because you're going to the root cause, and no pun intended, if you have not yet had the conversation with your GP or medical professional, please do, because you deserve to have that conversation. You need to be able to see where you're at with your body. Is this the stage that you're going through now as perimenopause or menopause? Also that, however, if your hair loss is quite sudden and severe or patchy, you still need to get that checked out. And I don't say this to scaremonger you, but it is about taking action, about being responsible for yourself, getting those answers, to the questions that you might be having in your mind and thinking about it and worrying and feeling a bit unsure or unstable with it all, because like I say, it's a part of you, it's your identity, and it's great to check things out. So why not get your blood work done, get your bloods checked and see what they come back, and then you can go from there, discuss with your GP or medical professional the best course of action for you. I also want to say to you is this, that you're not falling apart and you're certainly not getting too old, okay? It is, it's not the end, although it may feel quite big and significant at the time. Understand what's going on with your body and then dealing with it the best way that you can, okay? Take time, there's no rush, of course, but the sooner you know what's going on with you and your body, the sooner then you can start doing things that you could try helping with that situation. Whether that means having a piece put into your hair to make your hair look thicker and fuller again, or to cover an area, there's a patch area, or having, a wig, or changing the style, the length, whatever it is, a hairdresser if you're able to, asking someone that can assess your hair, look at your hair and discuss open and honestly about, look, this is what's been happening. What do you think I should do with the hair and the style? Should I cut it shorter? Shall I have it styled a different way? What can they advise? And but I always have an open and honest conversation, because they've noticed the patchy areas in my head. They can feel, the lumps in my scalp, the pile cysts that I've got. Please go to a professional hairdresser, someone that knows what they're talking about, has a lot of experience with hair, really understands the differences about women and hormones, and see what products and things they could possibly suggest and recommend to you. I just want you to understand that you can be freely open here on this channel. I don't want you to feel uncomfortable or embarrassed and feeling scared, because you shouldn't have to. There's no reason for that. And this conversation we have, is all about us understanding what we're going through and supporting one another, and recognizing that this can have an impact on our mental health as well. So if this resonated with you, please subscribe to this channel, share it with people that you know that may be going through the same sort of thing, or, has been searching for answers, or a channel that they could relate to, and who you might think might need to hear the information on this channel. Because the more we talk about it, the less women have to sit alone and wondering what on earth is going on with their body, their hair, etc. Please give this video a like, please subscribe to this channel, it genuinely helps. And until the next video, guys, take care and stay blessed. Thank you for being here till the end.